In order to answer the question of what makes a good gacha game, we'll have to look at what makes a good game in the first place. What I'm focusing on here is games with an actual cast of characters and a narrative, like a role playing game, in which you, the player, are directly involved. The things I think about the most are without a doubt the story, characters, and most importantly, gameplay mechanics. After that, art, music, and how well they match thematically. But what about a gacha game? Yes, it does need all those elements I mentioned previously. But what makes a gacha game good? Rather, how do you qualify something as good in the gacha game realm? Is it revenue? Number of unique players? Player retention? And is good the same thing as successful? As a day one player of the mobile game Fate Grand Order, who's finally lost interest in the plot and gameplay, what makes me log in every day? Sure, you can power through most games if they have at least something you can engage with, but what am I engaging with? Is it the fact that I've been playing for like 8 years and it feels like a companion I've been through thick and thin with? I just don't have it in myself to abandon it completely, despite having had thoughts of doing so multiple times. And FGO isn't the only game I've played since launch, but I haven't stuck to others for as long. Why is that? And this is me speaking as someone who's played Genshin Impact since launch and then quit a few years in. Wuthering Waves was fun for a while, but it didn't compel me to log in every day. And it's not just RPGs. I've played Love Live School Idol Festival until it EOS'd, Bang Dream, Tokyo Seven Sisters, Nanabu no Nijuni, both iterations of the Argo Navis games, and many more. So, EOS aside, why did I not continue? Live service games suffer from the caveat that they must keep going because the developers need to make money, the story keeps going, and there are more things to gacha and to spend your money on, I guess. But when it comes to content, what is the end game? In rhythm games, that might be easy to answer. For me, there is no end game. The gameplay is straightforward. No one's reinventing the wheel here, so to speak. I think rhythm games are the easiest to play casually and without much commitment. At least for me, that's what it's like. Out of the rhythm games I played, I never felt like I had to do my dailies. I just played when I wanted to scratch that itch. This brings us back to the question I posed. How do you qualify a successful gacha game? Revenue? That's just how you monetize it. I'm not going to go into that. Then, is it player retention? And how do you keep players playing your game? That's easy. Daily quests. I'm no stranger to love or dailies in video games. I played World of Warcraft for 10 years on and off, and I'm currently an unapologetic MapleStory player. And I do log into Reverse 1999 every day to do my tasks. And that's the trick, the psychology of habit formation. This behavior becomes automatic to you after a few weeks of repetition, and doing those dailies thus becomes a part of your life. But daily quests get repetitive, boring, unengaging. You log in to waste your time doing this and that for a meager reward that, yes, adds up over time, but it feels like a chore if you think about it outside of that. Would you be doing these tasks if they had no reward attached to them? Of course not. It's like turning on the laundry machine with no laundry in it. And even if it isn't daily quests, a simple daily login bonus is enough to keep a part of the player base building that habit. And don't get me started on games where you have to log in multiple times a day. I used to log in around 10 mobile games before bed and then after waking up. I only stopped because something disrupted my schedule. And from my friends, how many times have I had to hear, ugh, I have to clear my XYZ dailies, but I don't feel like it? It just feels pointless. Why bother? And if it's not dailies, how about the endgame? Do you want to flex your damage numbers? How fast you clear a stage? The crazy units you may or may not have wailed on or luck sacked? How many of these role playing gacha games have an endgame that is defined by a meta without much room for experimentation? How many of these are time limited events? And how many of these are actually rewarding? The hallmark of a gacha game I want to keep playing and thus keep logging into every day to do my daily chores is one that respects my time. If I want to play in endgame mode, it should be permanent and it should require actual skill. I don't want to rush every week going, ah crap, it's time to do my weeklies again, and then derive no enjoyment out of it. And there are, I admit, although begrudgingly, that there are games out there that do fit the bill, but as you can see, it's not an industry standard. How many times have you cleared Abyss with the same teams over and over again? There are so many games that could have just been released as like a standalone, and that would have been enough. Entertainment should be on your own terms, not something that you feel obligated to. So, is there a good gacha game out there? No. In my humble opinion, there is no such thing as a good gacha game. And in my case, I suppose I'll add on to say there's no such thing as a morally good gacha game. Even if not all of them engage in the practices I mentioned above, there's still games that encourage gambling. And that is a discussion for another day. Even after all this, I'll still keep logging into FGO, because I can't abandon my friend.